Have you ever wondered if angels exist? Have you ever had the impression of feeling the presence of angels in your home? And again, have you ever had the impression of feeling invisible presences or energies around you that influence your life? But did you know that there are signs to understand if angels really exist in your home? However, if your answer is yes, know that you now have the chance to discover these signs. In this Zen story, in fact, we will take you on an extraordinary journey to discover the signs that indicate the presence of angels in your home. Through the teachings of a wise Buddhist monk, you will discover how to recognize the positive and negative energies that inhabit your spaces. Furthermore, you will also discover how to purify your home and how to attract the presence of angels into your life. And if you stay until the end of the video, you will understand that angels are not fantastic creatures, but positive energies that live within us and around us. You will learn that your home is a reflection of your inner state, and that you can attract positive energies by cultivating peace, compassion, and wisdom. So, prepare to discover a world of wonder and spirituality, where the angels will guide you towards inner peace and happiness. But before continuing, if you are not yet among us, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to be informed when we publish new content for your spiritual growth. The sun was rising behind the snow-capped Himalayas, painting the sky in shades of gold and pink. A group of pilgrims approached the Buddhist monastery of Tashiding, an oasis of peace and spirituality nestled in the mountains of Sikkim. They had come from far away, attracted by the reputation for wisdom of the Venerable Sayadaw, an elderly monk known for his profound understanding of spiritual growth and Buddhist wisdom. The path that led to the monastery wound through forests of flowering rhododendrons and gurgling streams, creating an atmosphere of serenity and contemplation. The pilgrims walked in silence, absorbed in their thoughts, while the sound of the monastery bells rang in the clear air. Once they reached the monastery, they were welcomed by a young monk who led them to the garden, where Sayadaw was waiting for them sitting under an ancient cherry tree. The monk was dressed in a simple saffron-colored robe. His face was marked by the wrinkles of age, but his eyes shone with an intense and benevolent light. "Welcome, dear friends," he said in a warm and welcoming voice. "I am honored to have you here today. I heard that you came to ask me for advice on how to recognize the presence of angels in your homes. It's an important question, which touches the heart of spirituality and personal growth." The pilgrims sat down on the grass, forming a semicircle around Sayadaw. A young woman named Anya, her eyes full of curiosity, was the first to speak. "Venerable Sayadaw," he said, "we have heard of your wisdom and profound knowledge of spirituality. We hope you can enlighten us on this topic that we care about particularly." Sayadaw nodded. "In Buddhism," he began, "we don't talk about angels in the traditional sense, as winged creatures who live in the sky. However, we believe in the existence of spiritual beings who can influence our lives. Some of these beings are benevolent, such as bodhisattvas, who have achieved enlightenment but choose to remain in the world to help others achieve inner peace and mental well-being. Other of these beings, on the contrary, are malignant and represent a danger to humans. They are evil and persecute human beings, taking away their peace. But how can we know if there are benevolent spiritual beings in our home?" A middle-aged man named Raj asked, a look of sincere inquiry on his face. "There are many signs by which to tell," Sayadaw replied, "but some are more obvious than others. For example, you may notice a sudden feeling of calm and serenity when you enter your home, as if you were enveloped in a loving embrace. You may smell delicate scents of flowers or incense, even if there is nothing producing them. And again, you may see fleeting lights or shadows, or hear unexplained noises." Sayadaw paused, gathering his thoughts. "I remember once," he continued, "when I was a young monk, I lived in a little hut at the foot of a mountain. One night, while I was meditating, I saw a bright light coming through the window. The light came closer to me, and I heard a sweet voice telling me, 'Don't be afraid, I'm here to protect you.' From that day on, My cabin was filled with a feeling of peace and serenity, and I knew that I was not alone. The pilgrims listened attentively, enraptured by Sato's words. An elderly woman named Devi, her eyes shining with emotion, asked, "But what if there are negative spiritual beings in our house?" Sato nodded in understanding. "Again, there are signs to tell," he replied. "You may feel a sense of oppression, anxiety, fear when you enter your home. You may smell unpleasant odors, see disturbing images, or hear voices whispering evil words to you. You may also notice objects moving on their own or lights turning on and off for no reason." "I remember another story," Sato added, "of a man who lived in a house haunted by evil spirits. The man was tormented by nightmares, heard sinister noises during the night, and saw fleeting shadows in the dark corners of the house. One day, in desperation, he turned to a Buddhist master who advised him to purify the house with purification rituals and to cultivate positive and compassionate thoughts. The man followed the master's advice, and over time, the evil spirits left and the house returned to being a place of peace." The pilgrims nodded, reflecting on Sato's words and thinking about the situations they had experienced in their homes. Anya, the young woman who had spoken first, asked, "But how can we purify our home and protect ourselves from negative energies?" Sato smiled. "There are many Buddhist practices that can help you," he replied. "You can recite mantras, such as the mantra of Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva of compassion, which has the power to purify environments and ward off negative energies. The mantra I am telling you about is the following and has the power to ward off evil spirits. Om Mani Padme Hum. Another thing you can do is burn incense, such as sandalwood incense, which has cleansing and relaxing properties. You can meditate, visualizing your home filled with light and positive energy. And above all, you can cultivate positive and compassionate thoughts, because your mind is the true battlefield where the fight between good and evil is fought." The pilgrims listened attentively, taking notes and asking questions, and Sato responded with patience and wisdom, offering practical advice and encouraging them to persevere on their spiritual path. "Remember," Sato said, "that your home is a reflection of your inner state. If you want to attract positive energies, you must cultivate peace, compassion, and wisdom. If you want to ward off negative energies, you must face your fears and negative desires. This is the true meaning of spiritual growth." The sun was setting behind the mountains, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple. The pilgrims thanked Sato for his wisdom and took their leave, taking with them the hope of spiritual rebirth. As they walked away from the monastery, they heard the sound of bells ringing in the air, as if blessing their journey to inner peace and mental well-being. Returning to their homes, the pilgrims put Sato's teachings into practice, knowing that they would bear fruit. Anya began meditating every morning, visualizing her home filled with golden light. Raj recited the Avalokiteshvara mantra every night before going to sleep, while Devi burned sandalwood incense in every room of the house. Over time, they noticed subtle but significant changes in their homes. The atmospheres became more serene, the energies lighter. Anya noticed that the plants in her garden were growing more lush. Raj noticed that his dreams had become calmer. Devi felt a new positive energy permeate her home. One day, while Anya was meditating, she saw a white light coming through the window. The light approached her and she heard a gentle voice say, "I'm here, Anya. You're not alone." Anya opened her eyes, her heart full of gratitude. She knew that the angels were with her, guiding her on her spiritual path. Raj, in turn, began to notice small signs of the presence of angels in his home. Sometimes he found objects move from their original position, as if someone had touched them. Other times, she smelled a delicate scent of flowers, even if there were no fresh flowers in the house. Devi, for her part, began to notice that her home had become a place of peace and serenity for her friends and family. The people who came to visit her felt welcomed and at ease, as if the house itself emanated positive energy. As time passed, the pilgrims continued to practice Sato's teachings, sharing their wisdom with others. And so, Buddhist wisdom continued to spread, carried forward by Anya, Raj, Devi, and all who had met Sado. Their stories intertwined, creating a network of light and love that enveloped the people around them. People began to understand that angels are not fantasies, but positive energies that live within us and around us. They understood that our home is the mirror of our soul, of our inner state, and that we can attract positive energies by cultivating peace, compassion, and wisdom. And they learned that the spiritual path is a never-ending journey, but that every step brings us closer to true happiness.